This episode, episode 95 of the Ikigai Podcast, we have calligrapher and artist Naoko Mikami joining us again. So it's good to see you again, Naoko. Of course, we met about a month ago in
Mhm.
Tokyo.
Yeah, thank you for having me here again.
It's my pleasure. We're going to talk about life, calligraphy, and how they merge to make every day a
Mhm.
good day.
Yeah.
But let's touch on why we met,
Mhm.
because you joined my workshop,
Sure.
and that was in Tokyo.
Uh-huh.
And you presented this wonderful calligraphy workshop. So, how was the experience for you?
The workshop was a truly rewarding experience. I was moved by the participants' enthusiasm and openness to learning about the new things. I felt positive, energetic vibes there. And this time, my main goal was for everyone to experience calligraphy. Normally, I would explain details like how to grind the ink,
Hmm.
how to hold the brush, and various techniques. But if we focus too much on those things from the start, the magic of this kind of experience can fade. So instead, I wanted them to feel the unique sensations like the brush gliding across the paper or the smell of the ink,
Hmm.
things that we don't often encounter in daily life. It was wonderful to see process of creating their own work. It was a really great experience for me to join the retreat. Thank you very much.
Well, that's very wonderful to hear, very satisfying to hear. And I know you put so much effort into preparing for the workshop. And yeah, it was
Yeah,
very special. And
thank you.
yeah, it's very experiential. As you said, we actually practice calligraphy and we focused on certain terms
Mhm.
related to kokoro, which we actually talked about previously.
Yes.
But yeah, I really appreciated the effort you put into not only all the deciding the kanji and the ink and brushes and everything set up for each participant, but you also
Mhm.
delivered a wonderful speech. So,
Mhm.
would you like to share part of that speech?
Okay. So during the retreat, I mainly talked about traditional Japanese concepts. Like you said, I explained ideas like kokoro, heart, mind, and spirit, and fudoshin, immovable mind, and zanshin, lingering mind. We actually discussed about them in our last podcast. Yes.
Mm.
And I wanted to show why Japanese culture has traditionally placed so much importance on training the mind and spirit alongside the physical skills. And I also explained the phrase nichi nichi kore kojitsu, nichi nichi kore kojitsu, one of the Zen concepts. Yes, yeah.
Yes, no, you put a lot of effort into your speech and it was inspiring. And actually, I came to you and said, I'm doing this retreat in Japan, and could you come up with a theme? And you came up with Nichi Nichi Koreko Jitsu, which
Mhm.
I thought was fantastic. And we'll get into the meaning of it. But actually, behind you is also a special piece of calligraphy you brushed to show our participants.
Mhm.
And yeah, that was very special when you presented that. It got a lot of sort of responses. So what does Nichi Nichi Koreko Jitsu mean?
It means every day is a good day, but it doesn't mean every day will feel perfect. It's about finding something good or meaningful in every day, no matter what happens. It reminds us to value each day and see it as a chance to grow or learn.
Hmm.
It captures the Zen idea of being mindful or accepting, reminding us to stay present and see the beauty in each moment.
Yeah. It was funny during the retreat, we really used this phrase a lot. Obviously, we had many wonderful experiences. We did all these
Uh-huh.
things like indigo dyeing, like aizome, and
Uh-huh.
making pottery and doing
Oh.
zazen and
Uh-huh.
other things, even sutra tracing. But we
Uh-huh.
also had some challenges. And I think
Mm-hmm.
when we had the challenges, I think we said every day is a good day
Exactly.
more often to remind us, like, okay, we've had a bit of a challenge, but
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
today's
yeah.
been a good day. We've had some meaningful things, challenging
Mm-hmm.
things. And I think it also reminds you, yeah, to be grateful that you are alive. You have this day, and even
Mm-hmm.
if it's frustrating,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
still
yeah.
something to learn from.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really wonderful to see them use it. So I think it's something they'll remember for the rest of their lives, and I will too.
Yeah.
So I guess the challenge of this phrase is how to apply it to your life when you are having a bad day, when something goes wrong or a number
Yeah,
of things go wrong. So, do you have
yeah.
some advice about that, or just remembering the phrase kind of help?
Yes. For me, I use this phrase when things go wrong, like you said. For example, it's a bit long story, but
Yeah,
is it okay?
yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
For example, several years ago, I organized an art exhibition abroad for the first time. It was an exciting opportunity to share Japanese culture there, but it was also full of unexpected challenges. The first problem happened when the artworks from Japan didn't arrive on time.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
That's not good.
Not good at all. Due to a mistake in the documents, the shipment was stopped at customs. Yes.
Customs. Yeah.
I had only a few days before the opening. I had to communicate with the shipping company and customs officers every day. It was a stressful experience, but finally, some of the artworks were released, but not all. So I had to deal with changing many aspects of the exhibition and also with apologizing to the artist who didn't be able to exhibit in the
Oh,
end.
oh no.
No,
Mm.
no. It was I was so guilty. I felt so guilty. Well, and when the artworks arrived, there was another surprise. Ta-da! A large customs duty was
Oh,
charged,
oh no.
even though I thought all procedures were complete.
Mm.
To keep the schedule, I had no choice but to pay the fee myself.
I see. Gee.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a very expensive lesson, but I learned the importance of double checking every detail for international shipments. And
Mm.
during the setup of the exhibition, I also faced cultural difference. The local workers were very relaxed and not on time, which made me feel anxious very much. In Japan, things are usually very punctual.
Mm.
So this was a big adjustment for me. I ended up helping with the setup myself to make sure everything was ready.
Mm.
And on the
How?
first day of the exhibition, there was one last challenge. Some of the lighting equipment stopped working, making parts of the display too dark. I quickly worked with the staff to fix the problem, and we managed to borrow replacement lights just in time.
Wow.
Well, in the end, the exhibition was a success, and many visitors shared positive feedback about the beauty of Japanese calligraphy and art. Looking back, these difficulties taught me a lot about problem solving and cultural understanding.
Hmm.
It was a stressful but unforgettable experience. Also, because I was already in the red, big red, with all the extra costs,
Oh, no.
it
Hmm.
forced me to really put a lot of energy into sales. And I managed to actually sell all the artworks.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yeah, it was so frustrating at first, but this phrase, "nichi nichi kore kojutsu," reminded me to stay calm and look for something good in each day.
Mm.
It really helped me keep a positive attitude.
There you go. Wow. Well, maybe that's part of life. If we have
Mm,
challenges, I mean,
mhm,
if everything was easy, I guess we'd
mhm.
take it for granted. And then these moments where the unexpected happens and we're frustrated and
Yeah.
challenged, it kind of reveals this inner strength or we can
Mm-mm-mm.
handle adversity. And
Mhm.
then, as you just shared with us, it kind of gives you this problem like, oh, now I'm in the red. I have to I
Mhm.
have to sell these pieces to make a profit.
Yes.
And you did. So it kind of gave you this almost like a superpower or strength to think, not
Yeah,
only
you
do I
can
have
say that.
not only do I have this, all these other problems, now I have this problem that I'm going to turn into an opportunity.
Mm.
And so it probably became a great day, especially
Mhm.
with the artists who you help sell their art. They must have been very happy.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
So yeah, if we're to advise people on if you're
Mhm.
having a bad day
Mhm.
and you're just not feeling, you people will often say that like, oh, I got out of the wrong side of the bed this morning, or I'm just not
Mm.
feeling it.
Mm-mm.
Do you think just saying this is enough, or do you have any other advice on how to make a day a good day?
Well, probably for some people, maybe to spell this phrase is enough, maybe. Yeah, but I think the best way is to focus on small things
Hmm.
that make you happy easily, like a kind word, a good meal, or the beauty of nature. For me, a good meal is working very much. So even on tough days, look for something to appreciate.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, remember, it's okay if not every moment feels great. It's okay.
Mm.
The key is to stay open and grateful,
Yeah,
I think. Mm.
I like that advice. I think also taking some action
Mhm.
helps. I mean, I wasn't feeling it this morning, and I was thinking, oh, come on, Nick, you've got to go to the gym. You haven't been this week, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to go. And I thought, no,
Oh.
you've got to go. Just go. Just go and put your clothes on and go. And so I went,
Mhm.
and then I was exercising, and then I bumped into a Japanese friend, and
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
so we had a good chat. And he's saying, "Oh, Nick, you should do Zumba classes and
Oh,
lose some weight
Zumba.
and some combat classes." And so yeah, it was good
Oh.
to see him, and I was able to
Mhm.
share, my retreat details and how it was a great success. And
Mhm.
yeah, it was really good. And then I came back thinking, "Oh, today's a good day. I've caught up with a friend
Mhm.
and I've
Mhm.
exercised." So yeah, it's appreciating the small things, but I think also Ken Moggy talks about starting small and just start small. And so,
Mhm.
put your shoes on, put your clothes on, and then just walk to the gym, and then these positive things can happen. So yeah, appreciation and proactivity seems to really help.
True.
So let's go deeper into this piece you brushed. So the piece
Mhm.
behind you, it has a modern appeal to it. And so instead of a traditional long kakejiku hanging scroll, it's
Mhm.
more like a white canvas. So why
Mhm.
did you brush it on a wider scroll or on this sort of hanging canvas?
Mm. Traditional Japanese kakejiku are long and narrow. The proportion was designed for viewing in a tokonoma, a traditional alcove in Japanese rooms. For people from other countries, other cultures, these long scrolls might look exotic, maybe.
Hmm.
And while they have their own charm, I sometimes find them a bit outdated or out of place in modern settings.
Hmm.
The idea of using a wider format came partly from my husband's advice. He's French, so he has a different sense of aesthetics. He pointed out that for many Western homes, a wider scroll would feel more natural and easier to integrate into the space. This feedback really made sense to me. It offers a way to honor traditional aesthetics while adapting to contemporary lifestyles.
Hmm.
The wider format also gives a sense of openness and allows the meaning of the words to breathe. I see it as a way of bridging the past and present, creating a piece that respects tradition but feels fresh and modern.
It certainly felt fresh and modern. I actually remember the moment, your husband hung it up and then slowly lowered it. And I was like, oh, look at that. And yeah, like I guess we can compare it to the scroll behind me. There's a clear border, and in some way, I guess you could say the kanji almost looks a little bit caged. Yeah, it's
Mm.
sort of trapped in this space. It still looks very beautiful and attractive,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think you're right. Your piece with no frame, it's just almost like a blank canvas, and you've done your beautiful
Mm.
calligraphy over it. It does have this sense of freedom and fresh and modern, and it
Mm.
sort of can breathe. And I noticed that you even put a smiley face stamp
Yes,
on
yes.
next to the kanji that's often related
Yeah, yeah.
to ski or to like.
Mm.
So that was quite playful and unique.
Yes.
But there are these other design elements. There's even those three little red dots.
Uh-huh.
And you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
you
yeah.
have three stamps
Mm.
on the piece as well. Do you want to
Yes.
touch a little bit on that and why you decided to be a bit more creative or non-traditional with those elements?
Basically, this stamp formally, we use two name stamps on the piece. So one is your name and one is your artist name, something like that. And the third one is like how can I say playful stamp.
Playful stamp,
I
fun stamp, yeah.
yeah 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 yeah. This you can put this stamp anywhere on your piece, but to keep the balance, of the artwork. And for this Nichi Nichi Kore Kojitsu, and normally the name stamp, two name stamps, and the, the third stamp will be separated,
Hmm.
like diagonal or here or. But I don't know why, but I felt I felt right to put them together
Hmm.
on the yeah, corner. And smiley is is a purely play.
Play?
Play, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's quite unique and fun,
Yes,
but also very beautiful.
thank
And
you.
yeah, I think we talked about this last time, but there's something about calligraphy, even if you can't read calligraphy, there is
Mm,
this appeal to the shapes and the contrast of black ink on white
mhm,
paper, and then there is the meaning behind the
mhm.
kanji, which you've said is more important than the artwork itself,
Yes.
and that's what we talked
Mhm,
about. So, for someone to view your calligraphy, it's very enjoyable and very it does evoke feelings of I don't know, comfort or curiosity or connection. And I'm sort of leading now to the experience of brushing calligraphy.
mhm,
So as part of my retreat, I took my clients
mhm.
to a Zen temple where we practiced
Yeah.
shakyo, so sutra
Uh-huh.
tracing, with
Uh-huh.
just with a brush pen. But we were in the most beautiful hall, and it had this very
Mm.
conducive environment
Mhm.
to do the sutra tracing. Like it was this
Mhm.
huge hall, and it was bright and had this glorious decorations on the roof, and all made the whole structures made from wood, interlocking wood, no nails. So just being in the environment was very inspiring, but very quiet, very clean.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it was obviously an exercise to encourage my clients to be present and mindful and have that experience
Mm.
for
Mm, mm,
about
mm.
half an hour. And so they were
Mhm.
tracing these kanji that they really had no idea about the meaning of.
Yeah.
And in silence
Mhm.
and not trying to focus too much on outcome or how they looked.
Mm.
And yeah, they really enjoyed the experience. So as you're a professional calligrapher, you've done this for many years and
Mhm.
you're so good that you can sell the work you create. So when
Mhm.
you practice calligraphy, what is the experience for you? What do you experience?
Oh, well, this Shakyo thing
Mm,
reminds me of an experience from when I used to work in International Budo University, the martial arts university. I was the secretary of President Mr. Oka Sensei,
mhm,
who was also a great kendo master. He started every morning by doing um, Shakyo in his
uh-huh.
office. And uh, should I explain about Shakyo a little bit?
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, Shakyo refers to the practice of copying Buddhist sutra by hand.
Mm,
In Japan, it is particularly regarded as part of Buddhist training and devotion, widely recognized as a means of spiritual purification and prayer. It is some kind of meditation in a way, like meditating while writing. Anyway, go back to the President Oka Sensei's morning routine. Shakyo was his way of centering himself before starting the day. And I believe it was an important part of his process of maintaining focus and clarity. But watching him do this every day left a lasting
mm,
impression on me. It showed how a simple, repetitive practice can help clear the mind
mm,
and bring a sense of calm. So, similarly, when I practice calligraphy, I feel calm and focused. I think it's really, really like Shakyo. On the other hand, when I'm making my works, sometimes it feels like a 100-meter sprint. I focus intensively and bang, start quickly and finish everything all at once. Of course, it's not always like that, but there are times when it happens. Well, anyway, both Shakyo and calligraphy share this power of bring us into the here and now, which I think is so important in today's busy world.
That is one of the fascinating aspects of calligraphy in general, and as an art piece, you really only have one shot, yes, and you're not meant to correct what you've
Right,
just
right.
brushed because
Mm.
it's like it's almost like the idea of archery where it's, one shot, you've done
Mm.
the shot,
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
it. You cannot retake that shot.
Right.
So that's fascinating because I guess in Western art, if you felt, oh, I've done too much here, you could cover it up or go over it later.
Mm.
Whereas calligraphy, you're sort of trusting yourself, trusting the intention, trusting experience, and letting go.
Yeah, yeah.
So, does that, I imagine, when you first thought about becoming an artist and practicing and creating art, was there tension? And how did you get used to that tension of thinking, rather than thinking, oh, I've only got one chance of doing this, rather than I'm going to express myself?
It depends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel that I have a clear image and I follow the image and brush very fast. Or sometimes I have some hesitation
Hmm.
or some other options around me into the calligraphy. I take very long time to make it. So it's hard to say.
Okay.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah,
But now, as an artist, do you feel any pressure or tension, or are you really comfortable with your craft?
it also depends.
Mm,
So it's like my everyday's my condition it different.
I see.
So yeah. So sometimes I'm very comfortable and confident, but other days not that much.
Hmm. Like everyone
So
else. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Mm,
So but uh, I try to make myself believe that I can do it. But if I failed, it's okay.
mm. Good.
So it's really difficult to explain
Mm.
this thing for me.
Not
Maybe
mm.
I'm still in the cloud.
In the cloud. Mm,
Yeah, I'm looking for something in the cloud. Maybe.
mm.
Mm.
No, no, that's fine. It's, yeah, because it is unique, calligraphy.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
as I said before, I could look at something I can't read and think, well, I can't really make meaning of the kanji, but still feel something and still think it's beautiful and balanced, and it evokes these feelings. But I had another guest who is a calligrapher, and she
Mhm.
had the expression that the ink never lies.
Mm.
So if
Mhm.
there is hesitation or uncertainty, that'll be conveyed in the ink.
Mhm.
And if there is this feeling of confidence and freedom and, playfulness, that will also be conveyed in the
Mhm.
ink.
Mm.
So that's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah. So that's the feelings I have when I look at your piece.
Mhm.
Every day is a good day.
Mhm.
Nichi Nichi Koreko Jitsu. And as I said before, it's quite non-traditional. And I think last time when we spoke, you did say, first you said you didn't really like calligraphy when you were,
Right.
as a child or a teenager. And then you also, I think you said you're not a calligrapher who's really strict with tradition.
Mm.
So you're quite expressive. So
Mhm.
how are you expressive with your calligraphy, and do you push the boundaries of the craft?
Yes, I do. I do try to push the boundaries of my craft while still respecting the traditions.
Hmm.
Calligraphy has a long history, and I deeply value its roots. At the same time, I believe it's important to adapt it to modern life
Hmm.
so that it continues to resonate with people today. For example, instead of sticking only a traditional kakejiku, I often experiment with wider formats like this.
Yeah.
And I even created some calligraphies on scrolls made out of denim fabric.
Oh, wow. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I like that experiment. This makes it easier for people to display in contemporary spaces while still appreciating the spirit of the art. I also
Nice.
enjoy blending calligraphy with other art forms or unexpected materials. Once I created a piece inspired by the movie The Matrix. I love
Oh,
that
wow.
movie.
Me too.
and yeah, I combined traditional Japanese text with a modern digital aesthetics, creating a dialogue between the past and the future.
That's the perfect movie to choose to do calligraphy
Yeah.
for. Awesome.
Yeah. So through these experiments, my goal is to make calligraphy feel alive and relevant to today's audiences while preserving its timeless beauty.
Love it.
Mm,
Love it. That's fantastic. And I guess that would also appeal to a wider audience.
mm.
Mm,
Thank you.
thank you. So, when you create beautiful calligraphy, what feelings or emotions do you experience when you look at your completed work and you've just finished, or maybe later you go back and have a look? Are you analytical or do you get more sort of emotional?
Mostly emotional.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I feel thankful when I see a finished piece. For me, completing calligraphy work is about 80% of the process. The remaining 20 comes from the expertise of the professional kakeji craftsman who
Ah,
mounts it. So seeing the completed hanging scroll for the first time is always a special moment.
ah.
It's both exciting and nerve-wracking.
Mm,
When I deliver the work to the craftsman, it's just a thin sheet of paper, often with ripples or creases from the ink's absorption. But after it's mounted, it feels like the paper has been dressed in an haute couture gown.
yeah, yeah, that's a good metaphor. Mm,
Yeah, the transformation is so incredible. And I love the moment when I see the final scroll.
mm.
I always think, wow, it turned out so beautifully, knowing that it's the result of a wonderful collaboration.
That's something I didn't really think about. Yes. So once you've done your work,
Mhm.
I mean, making the kakejiku is also a highly skilled process and
Yes.
a traditional craft.
Mhm.
And my understanding is less people are learning that craft, and maybe it's getting
Right.
harder to find. Well, what do you call someone who makes kakejiku? Is they kakejiku ka or something?
Hyoso, I call him Hyoguya-san. Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so when you've done a piece, do you just trust it to them, or does the client have some input, or is there some discussion on what colors to use and how thick the framing should be?
Ah, for the color, I ask the clients
Okay.
normally.
Sure.
If client didn't say anything, I prefer to use white. And the this negative space margin,
Hmm.
I I decide myself.
I see. All right.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's a collaboration, and then
Mhm.
they then go and make the gown, so to speak, the frame,
Yeah.
and so I guess for them there is this sense of responsibility. Oh, this
Mm.
this calligraphy, this beautiful calligraphy. Now I have to help frame and make it, I guess presentable as a
Mhm.
hanging scroll. Well, there you go. So that's interesting. You get to see it in a new light once it's been framed and turned into a
Mm.
scroll.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Hmm.
Mm.
So let's talk about selling your pieces. So when you sell a piece of calligraphy, what do you hope the client will learn from the piece? Or what do you hope they will feel from the piece?
I hope they connect with the message in the artwork. I want the piece to remind them of something meaningful, like staying calm or appreciating life. I hope it becomes a source of strength or inspiration for them. For example, one client bought a work as a gift for his wife who was having a hard time starting her own business. He
Nice.
told me that the artwork's message of inner strength and self belief really spoke to her and gave her encouragement.
Nice.
Knowing that my work can support someone in such a personal way makes me feel truly grateful.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, that's interesting because with calligraphy, there is a message, a
Yes.
tangible message, like you can read it. Well, with that in mind, let's go back to Nichi Nichi Koreko Jitsu because
Mhm.
this piece is available for purchase. It's a
Yes.
wonderful piece. It's inspiring, it's beautiful, it's modern, and it has that very important message of every day is a good day, as in every day can be a day where you learn something from, where you can be inspired, where good things can happen, or even
Yeah,
if bad
yeah,
things happen,
yeah.
it's still a meaningful day. So, yes, you can purchase this piece.
Yes.
So I think we'll put some photos on the show notes, and I'll
Hmm.
put a link to your website and provide
Uh-huh.
your contact details. And
Thank you.
this would definitely be a beautiful piece for a home, perhaps some corporate space. Yeah, any thoughts or ideas on how people could decorate an environment with your piece, Naoko?
So, as you mentioned, this Nichi Nichi Korekoji's piece is not just art. It's a reminder to value each day. Its modern design makes it perfect for any space, and it can inspire you every time you look at it. So, if this message speaks to you, the piece is available.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful piece and something that will, yeah, give this positive energy to not only wherever you hang it, but I think to your life. So
Mhm.
might be good to give to, yeah, someone you care about, yeah, like a partner or a child or someone who is,
Mhm.
yeah, maybe someone is struggling with a new business or life, and this
Yeah,
reminder
yeah,
of
yeah.
it's
Mm.
very helpful. So. every day is a good day, and it's been a good day to catch up with you. And
Yeah.
it was a wonderful day to have you at the workshop. And
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll work together in the future when I do more retreats in Japan.
Yoo-hoo!
Yeah. So that was really fun. So any final words or thoughts before we end this episode? Maybe you can mention your website and anything else you'd like to mention.
Normally, I make the calligraphy with commissioned based. So this is a very special piece, I think. And you don't need to wait for a month to complete the kakejiku.
No.
Yeah, I can quickly send it to anywhere, I think. So this is like a prayer for everybody and for myself. Every day could be a good day. So I hope your struggle or anxiousness or anything, you can see a good aspect of the day. I hope so.
I think they will when they see it. So yeah, why not? Why not treat yourself to this wonderful piece of calligraphy with this wonderful message that every day is a good day. And I have this belief that that piece has captured a part of you now, Cole, in your flow or your creativity. So people have a part of your creativity with them and this wonderful message that every day is a good day. And we're so lucky to be alive. We have so much to be grateful for.
Yeah.
And this piece can inspire you when you're feeling down or frustrated or anxious or stressed, or even when you're happy. It might inspire you to share the love, to share how good life can be. So I'd like to say that every day is a good day with you in the world, Naoko. And so by having this piece, I think that's what people will feel.
いや、日々これ口実
ね。そうだね。
ね。
Every day's a
Yeah.
good day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been a great day catching up. We'll have information about the piece, photos, links on the show notes. And yeah, if you're keen to buy it, I recommend that you too.
Thank you very much.
So thanks for joining me today, Naoko. As always, good to chat with you.
Thank you, Nick.
Okay.
Have a great day.
You too. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Ikigai Podcast. To learn more about Ikigai or to become a certified Ikigai Tribe coach, visit ikigaitribe.com.